It's time to look at all the touchdowns uploaded on this date in touchdown history on Facebook. For the link, check the description, click for the original audio, and as always, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and follow. It helps us out a lot. So we start November 9th's touchdowns. Back in 1975, the Oilers and the Steelers, the defending Super Bowl champions, are tied at 17. From the 21-yard line, Terry Bradshaw goes to work. He's going to look right, then look left, and find John Stallworth in the end zone for the touchdown, beating the Oilers 24-17. We move on to 1985, and Maryland is punting to Miami. The Miami Hurricanes are stacked in 1985, but the Maryland Terrapins are going to have a recognizable face you'll see on the sideline at the end of the play. Brett Perriman takes it at the 26-yard line, and he heads to the wall. The Hurricanes have a wall set up on the right side, and he's gone 74 yards for the touchdown in this high-scoring game. Brett Perriman takes it to the house for the U. In a season that we've been showing a couple Michael Irvin touchdowns from Vinny Testaverde, this one a 74-yard punt return for Brett Perriman. But Maryland, Jimmy Johnson, they're the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. Maryland, look at the coach. Bobby Ross, who will lead the San Diego Chargers to the Super Bowl in 1994, is not happy. But the Miami Hurricane Seagull, he sure is happy. And the Hurricanes would go on to win that game 40 years ago, 1985. We move on to 1995, Thursday Night Football. The Rice Owls lead Texas A&M in the second quarter 7-0. From the 45-yard line, the Aggies have the ball, and his handoff to Leland McElroy, and he stops and starts again, and none of the Owls can catch him. Leland McElroy goes 45 yards for the touchdown to get the Aggies on the board in the second quarter. And the Aggie faithful, the 12th man that made the trip to Houston to see the Rice Owls host the Aggies, are happy, as that game was tied at 7. Let's take a look again. Leland McElroy, number 34, in the backfield, takes the handoff, and he comes to a stop and then starts back up again, avoids the tackle, and he is just gone. The Owls barely lay a finger on McElroy as he goes 45 yards for the touchdown. Again, a look at the stop and start. He comes to a stop, turns his body, and gets moving again, and there is not a single Rice Owl player that can catch him. 45 yards. We move on to the year 2000. It's Virginia. It's Georgia Tech. George Godsey on the option pitch to Kelly Campbell, and Kelly Campbell's going to go 50 yards for the Yellow Jackets. On this night, the Ramblin' Wreck would destroy Virginia. We move on to 2015. It's the Bears and the Chargers, and Jay Cutler with a high pass snarled in by one hand by Zach Miller. 25 yards, and that is the game winner on this Monday Night Football, as Phillip Rivers looks on. Did not get the same opportunity that Jay Cutler did in this game to throw a game-winning touchdown. We take a look again. Cutler steps up in the pocket, throws a bit of a high pass to get it over the linebacker, and Zach Miller, take a look at the concentration. One hand, knocks it down, secures it with the second hand, and dives into the end zone for the Bears' victory on Monday Night Football 10 years ago today. Moving on to the year 2020, and it's the Jets and Patriots, and a touchdown pass from Joe Flacco to Jamison Crowder in the corner of the end zone right before the half. I'm going to pause it real quick to finish up talking about that before I get into this game. The Patriots would go on to win that game in 2020 behind Cam Newton, but that Joe Flacco pass, and he's still doing it 5 years later now for the Bengals. All right, let's set the scene here. 1 year ago today, 2024, there was a ton of touchdowns I could have picked. A ton. Oklahoma, Georgia, Notre Dame. There were a ton of touchdowns that I saw in the highlights, but I saw these three from this game, and I had to put them all together. Two editors' picks. This first one, an 86-yard pass from Evan Bullock behind the receiver's back. That's True Edwards. And then he just takes off, burning the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State for 86 yards to get Louisiana Tech on the board in the first quarter and tie the game. You will see in the highlight just how spectacular this catch by True Edwards was. And he definitely is the truth on this. It's just a short slant. The pass by Bullock is behind. Edwards has to reach behind his back to secure the ball with one hand, and then he just turns on the speed. Later in the game, it's a Hail Mary situation for quarterback Tyler Huff as the Gamecocks are behind by 6. He throws it into the end zone, and Cam Vaughn gets behind everybody for the 49-yard touchdown reception to tie the game at 37, pending with an extra point. Jacksonville State could win the game, and take a look at how everybody bumps up toward the beginning of the end zone. Vaughn sees the ball is going long. He gets behind everybody and is the touchdown. Sadly, Jacksonville State would miss the extra point, and the game would go to overtime. And that, in overtime, is where we get the official 2024 touchdown selected by this date in touchdown history. One more look at the hit that Tyler Huff took as he threw the ball goalward for the game-tying score. In overtime, here it is. Trey Stewart from 11 yards out gives the Gamecocks the lead, and they would hold on to win 43-37 in overtime. A wild game down in Louisiana as the Jacksonville State Gamecocks defeat Louisiana Tech 43-37. Which touchdown of these was your favorite, and which touchdown did I miss that I should have played?